Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. StoneWorld here in the land of picks. Do, 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 do. Everyone, it is UFC 250, Freedom 250. Guys, the ridiculous amount of festivities and fanfare around this event is incredible, and I'm not going to go into all of that because what we care about is the fights and the outcomes of said fights. Okay, guys, let's start from the top. Let's start with Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. Guys, Diego Lopez obviously coming off a streak of losses against Alexander Volkanovski. Um, this is probably the start of his return to number one contendership. I have a hard time believing that he's going to be able to exploit the Cyril Gahn tactic and get infinite title shots. So he'll have to slowly work his way back to the title against Volk, if Volk happens to still hold the title at that time. Guys, Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia is a guy who's kind of flown under my radar personally. I checked out some highlights. He seems pretty decent. Diego Lopez, obviously one of the hottest stars in the UFC right now, made a big splash from day one all the way up until this day. I mean, look, he's on the coveted Freedom 250 card, so that speaks for itself, right? Guys, we're gonna go with Diego Lopez winning a decision on this one. Okay, guys, let's go to the next one. Let's talk about some real American showdowns. Let's talk about Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dawkins. Okay, guys, Kyle Dawkins, another motherfucker. I've heard about him. I've seen him. He looks kind of sad. He has that look where it's like that is what a UFC fucking fighter that you don't really hear about looks like, right? That's Kyle Dawkins. Bo Nickel, goofiest motherfucker ever. Like, that's all I gotta say. But like, bro, guys. Of course, Bo Nickel didn't he knocked out what's his name? I was gonna say Adolfo Vieira. I don't know. Did he knock out Adolfo Vieira? His last fight was a knockout, I believe. His fight before that, of course, he lost to Renner de Ritter. I predicted him losing to Renner de Ritter, so that de Ritter just had too many vectors on him. Was way too much of a technical journeyman for somebody at the point of their journey that Bo Nickel was at. That proved to be true. He got crumpled with body shots, like literally just spacing and body shots crumpled him. Hey, it is what it is. It's Renner de Ritter, right? It's like one of the most like rugged technicians out there, really. I am gonna go with Kyle Dawkins got quite a bit more experience in the octagon than Bo Nickel. Obviously, he doesn't have the amount of grappling matches that Bo Nickel has had, but a lot of that was wrestling. Um, I'm gonna go and give this one to Kyle Dawkins. I think Kyle Dawkins is gonna win a decision here. I think that the difference in experience is gonna go big here. Bo Nickel's gonna hope that he doesn't gas out here. Bo Nickel's best chance here. He looks like he's like in terms of like frame is a bit bigger than Kyle Dawkins, so maybe we're looking at some spacing, and two Bo Nickel can maybe just get his hands on him and maybe start to try and run away each round with that. Maybe he could outpoint him for a decision. I'm gonna bet on the experience of Kyle Dawkins here, and he's gonna be the American that is coming out of this one, which I think would be pretty funny. Okay, guys, fucking next fight on the card is Mauricio Rufy versus Michael Chandler. And guys, let's be honest here. Michael Chandler, he needed a fight, okay? This guy was in camp for over a year waiting on Conor McGregor. So that sucks. Conor McGregor's fighting like Max Holloway now, so I don't know. They got to step into the cage for it to actually happen. So we'll see when it comes to all of that bullshit. But Michael Chandler, Mauricio Rufy. Mauricio Rufy, I believe he's coming off a loss. I think Mauricio Rufy. I don't think anybody. I think people just want to see Chandler fight, right? Like it was going to be interesting if Michael Chandler got to fight Conor McGregor. I was actually going to go Chandler on that fight over McGregor. But in this fight, I'm going to have to go Mauricio Rufy over Chandler. Chandler. Kind of just fights his fight right now. He's having a good time. I bet he's really enjoying being on this Freedom 250 card. This is almost like the perfect position for him at this point in his UFC career. Mauricio Rufy, I think, is going to come in dynamically. He's going to be faster, stronger, have more durability, etc. I'm looking for Mauricio Rufy to finish this in round two, guys. The next fight is the kind of like the impromptu commissioned fight. This is the emergent fight. This is the breaking fight. This is Josh Hokich versus Derek Lewis. Guys, Derek Lewis, obviously the venerable knockout king of the UFC. Shout out to him. His balls was hot. Fuck Popeyes for removing seafood, you know, like his whole thing, right? Um, Josh Hokit just had a crazy match with Curtis Blades that got him on this Freedom 250 card against Derek Lewis. Big fan favorite. Josh Hokich, to be honest, like all the press conference shit doesn't really interest me. I saw the clip of him like fucking doing like football drills or whatever the fuck, right? I'm sure if he was that good at football, he wouldn't be fighting in the octagon. But like, I just feel like Josh Hokich he's gonna come in with more cardio here, and this is really gonna be a big thing in this fight. I think that Josh Hokich is going to win, whether he finishes him within the commissioned rounds or he wins a decision. I think that Josh Hokich is going over in general. Derek Lewis, of course, like really depends on whether he actually wants to show up, and even when he shows up, it really just like depends on like how he feels in that moment in the octagon in the literal exchange. Of course, he can always, he's the knockout artist, he can always find something. Um, like he might for a bit be a better counter striker than Curtis Blades, but like if he gets tagged up a lot, he's just gonna continue to fall off. Like Derek will quit, bro. Derek will be like, all right, I get it. Like it is what it is, and I respect him for that. But also like it marks against his resiliency and his grit, right? It definitely is marked against his heart. At the end of the day, but he's really like that's just the professional stance at the end of the day. I think Josh Hokich is going to, like a locomotive, just continue to build energy here and get to the finish. Guys, for this next one is Sean O'Malley versus Ayman Zahabi. This is my fight of the night. Fight of the night 250. Do 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 do. Anyways, guys. Sean O'Malley versus Ayman Zahabi. Guys, Sean O'Malley just came off a victory. He beat Song Yadong. It was a pretty good fight. I thought Song and O'Malley did really well in that showing. So, shout out to both of them. O'Malley came out with the W. That got O'Malley out of the loser's corner after back-to-back losses to Merab Dvalishvili. And Ayman Zahabi is on a winning streak. He just fought like a literal like 15-pound heavier Jose Aldo. Got fucking soccer kicked in the head and somehow brought it back and still fucking won. Ayman, of course, is from the TriStar camp out in Montreal. Shout out to the TriStar guys. Definitely like one of the premier fight camps in Canada, if not the premier fight camp in Canada. Would love to go train with those guys sometime soon. With a guy like Faraz in your corner, and with the amount of connections that Ayman has, and also the fact that Ayman is not too small for this division either. Sean O'Malley is considered a weight bully. Ayman Zahabi could kind of be considered a frame bully, at least in this weight class. So they're kind of going up against each other as guys that are relatively equal in stature. Of course, O'Malley's got that freakish range, so he's got that on him. But I don't know if that's going to factor in as much against Ayman as it would against Sean O'Malley's other opponents. Guys, we're going to go for Ayman Zahabi winning a decision here. I think that Sean O'Malley has enough grit and he's experienced enough good wrestling that even though Ayman is going to come in, Ayman's going to come in with the full fucking triangle, all of the Pythagorean theorem of martial arts here, and he's going to apply it to Sean O'Malley. The question is, can Sean O'Malley play counter wrestling and play the mid-range well enough to stay in his good zone while Ayman Zahabi constantly tries to take him out and stack damage and look for a finish? I'm going to bet on Ayman Zahabi. I believe in his camp. I see what he does. He's fresh. He is incredibly skilled. He, as a fighter, knows when to change levels and when to switch mind state. He doesn't stay in one stubborn game plan. Even when it seems like he may come out with a specific idea or specific thing he wants to show off in a fight, he will change, he will pivot in order to make the fight concise. and I'm going to bet on that IQ rather than Sean O'Malley's straightforward boxing style. Sean O'Malley, though, if the fight isn't going too well for him, as we saw against Merab in the second fight, he had Merab in his prime range. Merab was like 3 steps back from hitting the cage. O'Malley was right on the inner octagon line. You guys know the black line. And that's really his prime striking range. He can also cut you off going left and right. And he was kind of trigger shy. He cannot be trigger shy against Ayman Zahabi, because Ayman Zahabi is somebody who can relatively play in his face, right? So he can play in his face. He's going to be smart in the mid-range. He's definitely going to be throwing that leg kick, Ayman Zahabi. But really what he's looking for is to cut a corner, get a little close, maybe punch into the shot. He's going to want to push O'Malley to the cage. He's going to want to take him down, and he's going to want to beat him up on the ground while Sean O'Malley tries to get up. If he feels that Sean O'Malley isn't strong, I feel like what he's going to do is he's going to play mid-range, and he's going to be throwing the kick on top of it. Of course, O'Malley's hands are really fucking good, and he could catch him with like check hook or something like that. But I believe that Ayman Zahabi here is going to be going with, he's going to start his combinations with a kick, and he may end them with a kick, because he's not necessarily scared of Sean catching one of his legs. He's probably more scared of Sean checking one of his leg kicks, because that's going to fucking hurt a ton. But in general, I feel like Ayman Zahabi has less places to fear Sean O'Malley, where Sean O'Malley is like trying to stay in his golden zone. And so with Ayman's mindset of being able to switch and change on the fly and adapt to the fight, and the ability to see that the fight is changing in nature, is going to trump over O'Malley, who is just trying to drive this fight as if it's his regular cruise, right? So I'm going to go with Ayman Zahabi here, guys. Fucking the Canadian's going to come out of this one as the #1 contender. This is a special fight because we got to talk about infinite title shot glitch Cyril Gane versus Alex Pereira for the interim heavyweight championship of the world. Guys, what the fuck? Cyril Gane seems to just get infinite title shots. Even when he's eye-poking the fuck out of the champ and ending the fight early, he's still getting those motherfucking title shots. I know you guys saw the video of Gane just like throwing hands, and he was literally throwing open hands. Like, was that... Like, I know fighters do that, but that just feels like it's a double entendre. That just feels like it's some sort of fucking joke, right? Like, anyways, while fucking Aspinall's sitting on the couch with his pregnant eyes, Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane are out there getting a fucking big 250 paycheck, a big 250 paycheck, and they're gonna brawl it out. Guys, listen, this is my take on Cyril Gane versus Alex Pereira, okay? I am going with Cyril Gane in this one, guys. I think Cyril Gane is big. Cyril Gane is big, and he can like balloon up even at heavyweight stance. Cyril Gane's main issue here is his cardio. We're gonna see where Poetan's cardio is with this thickened body he has, but I think that his cardio, I think his management of his cardio is going to be much better than Cyril Gane's management of his cardio. Here's the thing: people are going to say Alex Pereira, he needs to get that leg kick off. Here's the thing: Cyril Gane will be throwing that leg kick too, and Cyril Gane's leg is bigger than Alex's leg. He might not have as good as aim, but that shit is gonna come. He might not hide it like Pereira does, but he doesn't need to, and that shit is coming, and that shit is gonna hit. Who has more meat? Cyril Gane has more meat. That's really big in heavyweight, okay? Cyril Gane is going to punch straight. Alex Pereira doesn't have any range advantage he can take care of here. Cyril Gane is going to be able to really fight this fight anywhere and kind of move where he wants to move. I doubt Alex Pereira is going to be able to take Cyril Gane down, unless Cyril Gane literally is just like, oh, he's going to take me down, okay, and lets him just take him down. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to turn into dirty boxing and clinching if they get that close. Alex, of course, he's always trying to back somebody up into a corner, this very K1 oriented style, get them in the corner so that we can flurry, and then whether they step left or step right, we can always pivot, and we're allowed to start our exchange first. That is going to be Alex's game plan, because that's his game plan with everybody. We're going to see if he can do that against fucking big Frenchman Cyril Gane, who's like just going to be punching straight. and throwing leg kick. And he's going to do that from anywhere in the octagon. You put him 3 steps before the back of the cage, he's going to be throwing that. You put him in the middle of the octagon, he's going to be throwing that. You put him in some random orientation of the octagon, he's going to be doing that, okay? And I think he's more likely to initiate grappling. Who knows, Pereira might become a fucking grappler at heavyweight. We don't know, right? But I think that Cyril Gane's style of kickboxing is going to work better at heavyweight. Alex's style of this like stone wall, unless he really just fucking hits that vector, unless he hits his vectors and his combos just land where they need to land, I feel like he is going to be like relatively shaken when Cyril Gane, because even if they just go even on a punch, they both punch each other, that's gonna make Alex think about it. Cyril Gane might be like, holy shit, this guy punches hard as fuck, right? But Cyril Gane's been punched by a bunch of fucking hard-ass punching motherfuckers, okay? The main thing he's had to worry about is whether he can get punched enough and the other guy can get tired enough so that he can finish him, right? This is the heavyweight dilemma at the end of the day. So we're going to see. It's going to be a battle of cardio. I think Alex Poetan Perez got the cardio sealed away. I think Gane's got pretty much everything else sealed away, right? You also got to watch out for the fingertips. We don't want to be impregnated as Tom Aspinall is sitting on the couch waiting for, the next 7 months now to see what French abomination is born out of his eye canal. Guys, Cyril Gane is interim champion, waiting to fight Tom Aspinall. Good lord. I think Alex Pereira, I don't know how many fights he has in his contract, but if he goes and gets this W, I don't see him sticking around in the UFC very long. What I could see is him leaving the UFC if this is the final fight in his contract, maybe going fight Ngannou on an MVP card for an ungodly amount of money. I could see, what's his name? I could see lots of bullshit coming out from this. I think Cyril Gane, if he wins the title, I think he's going to stay with the UFC for at least a few bouts. I feel like he's going to want to win back. I think both guys are probably going to wait for Aspinall just so they can get that undisputed. I think Cyril Gane will stay around and will defend it. I don't know if Gane's gonna go and do the MVP shit. I don't know. He seems like a money man behind the scenes. If you know about his history of managing fighters and whatnot, and his interactions on the back line, however nefarious they may be. Cyril Gane seems like the money man, but I feel like Alex, like with how much he wanted, Alex versus John Jones would be like a huge fight. But I think they would now, like especially with how John Jones was talking on the MVP card, like they want that fight to happen outside of the UFC so they can make an ungodly amount of fucking money. But anyways, guys, that stuff is so for the future. Freedom 250 coming up this Sunday, guys. Fucking lock in your bets, your predictions. If you got Fantasy League, if you're a betting motherfucker, go fucking hard. Shout out Ayman Zahabi. He's going to fucking bring the title, or bring the number 1 contendership to Canada once again. And I'm going to be hoping that in the future... That's Sean O'Malley right back there. Listen, I'm hoping that Ayman can put this man away. And, you know, we're going to have, once again, a preparation for a championship Canadian camp in the future. Okay, guys, Serious L by your boy. We forgot to talk about Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria. What the hell? Who could have forgot about El Matador? And that other guy, right? Anyways, guys. Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to say anything that is interesting or new about this fight. We have Ilia Topuria, who is still walking around with his 2 belts, even though he only has 1 belt right now. And he is looking to absolutely knock Justin Gaethje out. I think he will knock Justin Gaethje out. The main difference between them is because you have a Ilia Topuria who's extremely strong. He's got a great grappling base, and he's probably the best boxer in the UFC right now, the most effective boxer in the UFC right now. He's going up against Justin Gaethje, who, listen, in all of his fights, Gaethje has taken damage, and Ilia is just not a guy you want to take damage from. If you're gonna get hit by Ilia Topuria, you better be fucking frame-mogging this motherfucker. Anyways, guys, I'm looking for Ilia Topuria to finish this in the first round. If not, then early into the second round if Gaethje happens to survive. I don't even think Gaethje can really grapple fuck Ilia.
I don't think he's got the cardio to grapple fuck Ilya. I think Ilya's fucking short ass arms are gonna be much fucking stronger than people think, and especially just Gaethje among those people. And I think that Ilya is gonna be undisputed once again. And I didn't know that this fight was going to be the main event on the card. I thought it was going to be Alex versus Gon. If it is, then there you go. Ilya Taporia, the Matador, is going to seal it tonight, and hopefully we'll get a Spain card off the back of this. I love it if the UFC was in places that was actually fun to go to. Jersey is not a fun place. Anyways, guys, it's a beautiful day outside. Get outside. I just came from a local tournament, just supporting the team out there, helping you guys get their warm up in and coaching the guys. Guys, get involved in the fucking sport, man. Come on, let's go.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming back again. This card's gonna be fucking weird as fuck, so I hope you guys are locked the fuck in. Guys, let's do a thing, okay? If Netanyahu is at the UFC 250, you have to take 4 shots, guys. 4 shots for 400 years of bondage. Okay, guys, pay attention. Freedom 250 coming up. Let's just enjoy the spectacle. Let's enjoy the bread and circuses while they're still here, guys. Okay. Catch you next time.